You need to build your strategic alliances with lenders, title, escrow, contractors. Basically, make yourself more of a one-stop shop, all-in-one app for real estate. And then you've got to get really good at articulating your value proposition, at describing why you're valuable. See, one thing that brokers need to be awesome at, agents need to be awesome at, is they could get a discount on a loan fee and a discount on a commission. Why should they choose you? And so flip it around. Are there people willing to pay more for a real high level of service or a real high level of expertise? Always. You have to demonstrate that you're that high level of expertise and professionalism, the competitive landscape. So this deal kind of reshuffles the deck and puts things out there. So is the Rocket Redfin duo, is that a legitimate challenger to Zillow? Probably. Zillow itself has been contracting. Zillow tried to get into house flipping. Zillow's tried to get into mortgages. Zillow has not done a good job of this kind of vertical integration.
And Zillow doesn't list houses, right?
Correct. Zillow's just a data aggregator. They just pull the information from the MLS, put it on there, and then they turn around and sell leads to real estate agents. Their whole business is a lead selling business, but they do have the most eyeballs. Zillow's getting about 204 million active users. Rocket and Redfin together will have about 62 million. You know, this is huge. Third place here is CoStar. CoStar is the commercial real estate brokerage entity, if you don't know who they are. They also own homes.com. They ran a bunch of Super Bowl ads. They were okay. I don't know if it helped them grow their market share. It's kind of a three-way battle between them, Zillow, Rocket, Redfin, CoStar. I don't know that any one of these three is going to become that dominant player to control them all. I actually think it's probably going to be some fourth player, fifth player we haven't heard of. Quite honestly, it could even be Ben, my partner Ben Kenny with Place, because they're getting so big. He's got so much data, so many teams. He has a huge shot at it, I think. Amazon has a shot at it. I think Google has a shot at it. When Google went and bought Nest and started getting into that home automation, they started getting to the top line of the consumer too. So realize we have all this battle going on for the consumer. Some of it's good. Some of it we just have to go, is this going to be really good? And what are some of the checks and balances? So my prediction is we're going to go through an arms race where you're going to see these tech companies start spending more money on their apps, on their development, on their technology. You're going to continue to see them try to grab more consumers to bring them in. And we're in a race for the super app to control the consumer, for the all-in-one consumer. What I mean by that, talking home renovation, home mortgage, home insurance, title, escrow, purchasing the home, the platform that sells it all. And for our listeners that don't know, the U.S. real estate market is a $36 trillion market. Right now, this is really interesting because of the timing in the real estate cycle. Are we good or are we beat up right now?
Beat up for sure.
Okay, so
slow. It's crappy for a lot of agents.
It's slow, it's crappy. They're able to buy Redfin at a discount because its valuation fell off a cliff. That's your quintessential counter-cyclical strategy. Buy when prices are low because things are going to get better and higher in the future. So when I take my hat off and take my tinfoil hat off and look around, I'm like, this is a good buy. This is a good idea because Redfin's trading at a discount relative to what it was just trading at. And Rocket's making a big bet that essentially the housing market's going to get better, that online platforms are going to continue to grow, that we're going to continue to make more searches with our phones, that the consumer wants quicker, easier things to happen, and that they can integrate the home buying experience. I agree with all those things. And I agree that it's strategically brilliant to do it today because the market is beat up, so there's not a better time to do it. And I would have made that. What's interesting is in 2008, Amazon made their massive expansion moves. Just to give you an outside correlation, during the great financial crisis, as it was starting, Amazon started really doubling down and really expanding at the beginning of that recession. So if Rocket is timing this, and as we come out of the recession, they may get that unnatural lift just like Amazon did and grow super huge. P.S. I don't want them to grow super huge if you didn't catch that. I love consumer choice. I don't like monopolies. Is this a bad thing? Don't know yet. Time will tell us. But I do hope that regulators poke at this a little bit. I am pro-consumer, pro-middle class. And as we do things that prevent consumer choice, that's my worry. I think this was a good buy. I think this was a great strategic acquisition. I'm fearful, what if this limits consumer choice in the future? If Rocket gets too big and we go through another financial crisis, I just don't want to see what happened to us in the great financial crisis happen again. I also think this is going to cause us to lose real estate agents. We've already been on that path. I think the industry is going to continue to get a little bit smaller. I think the professionalism in real estate needs to go up and continue to go up, and I believe it totally has been. And so the question at the end of the day is, are you willing to trade convenience and a little bit of price, maybe not get the best deal and maybe not get the best advice? Rocket took an amazing calculated risk, and my hat's off to them. And I think we're going to see the app war continue over the next few years to see who's going to spring up, whether it's Zillow, it's Redfin, it's CoStar, or it's one of these other players that isn't a dominant player coming in. And my thought, to be honest, is it's going to be an outside player that's going to come in and disrupt them even a little bit more.